Yes, I do. The area of equity compensation is something I always hear, business people bring up. I hear my kids bring up the issue once in a while. They'll say, Dad, I was offered some stock, or there's an option plan at a company I just started working for, friends, neighbors. So I think that everybody has a pretty good sense that, this idea of equity compensation is out there, but a lot of people just really don't know, what it is.
Equity, you mean ownership, not fairness compensation, right?
Correct. Definitely not. Equity does not mean fairness and what's equal.
Okay.
Equity, absolutely, in the terms of ownership.
And people are very naive who are first-timers to the equity world.
Absolutely. Some have different levels of sophistication, but many times, I'm struck by just sort of the naivete that some people have when they go into a situation. They're just simply not aware with it. Aware of what they're being offered. What might be available and what it means.
Well, as I've said many times to many people, most people go into partnerships. It's the old napkin thing with their buddy. Oh, we're going to do this. It's going to be great. Let's just write it up here on the napkin. It's all going to be fine. Life is not that simple when it comes to money.
It is absolutely not that simple.
Right. So let's go into some of the detail. Who typically receives compensation in equity?
Well, you see equity compensation used primarily with key executives, key employees. It's used differently in different businesses. In a public company setting, you may see, equity being offered to more garden variety employees as sort of a method of attracting talent. In closely held businesses, the equity is pretty much limited to really key players, those who are really, critical to the business. But again, it's a tool that you primarily see with executives, key management personnel, and the like. Key
management, but there's many types of equity, isn't there? I mean, and there used to be more, I guess, about 20 years ago. It used to be a lot easier.
Oh, I'm not sure my memory is going to take me back 20 years and function all that well, but...
I had a partner who used to talk to me about all different types of equity, and some people, you don't always have to make everybody partner either, but that's too many questions. I'm ahead of myself.
Okay.
Let's just start with there's different types of equity.
Absolutely. There's all different kinds of equity compensation. What you have are, and what I would say is sort of what people see most often, you have pure stock, restricted stock. It's just simply a valued employee is going to be granted shares in a business. It could be a partnership interest in a partnership, but it's pure, it's an ownership interest that's being granted outright. So you have stock. You also have what's known as restricted stock units, which is effectively a promise to give you either equity or cash in the future. You may end up getting, a company might give you 50 restricted stock units, and effectively, if you meet the vesting criteria, so let's say it says we'll give you 50 restricted stock units, you have to be here for, a year, and at the end of the year they vest. Well, you're there for the year, you satisfy the vesting requirement, and now those units either settle into 50 shares of stock or perhaps the cash equivalent.